so much. And I'm part of the class of 2026.
Welcome to Slamming for Cause 2024.
We are so excited to be here, and I know all of y'all are too. Speaking of, it is actually the 10th year anniversary of Slamming for a Cause at New Tech High Coppell. Can I get a round of applause, please? Coppell, I can't believe it's been 2 years since our last Slamming for a Cause. Don't you recognize the shirt?
Yes, I know, right? That's incredible. Everyone here has worked so incredibly hard to make this possible. From the poets to the bake sale to the silent auction, this event took so many long hours to put together, and we're so happy that you all are here.
Wait, what's this about a silent auction?
You don't know? The silent auction. Look at all the stuff around us. One night stay at the Gaylord, senior picture sessions, 2 tickets to Dear Bonanza. All the stuff's being auctioned off. And if you want a sweet treat, just go right outside during your intermission.
Man, really? This place is amazing. Now I know everyone here is super excited to see these incredible poems, but first we are going to have a word from our principal.
Young ladies, as they said, 10th anniversary of Slamming for a Cause, Janelle Bentz and Danae Boyd, thank you so much. If we could give them a round of applause. Janelle Bentz and Danae Boyd, they've been together for a while, coming up with innovative ways, awesome ways for our learners to get involved, awesome ways for our learners to just engage with the community and to have outreach, to advocate for causes. They're always willing to just push our learners to the next level, push our learners to the next level of that advocacy, and we're so appreciative of them. We also have today Mr. Anthony Hill, one of our trustees up here in front. Thank you for being here. And the sound, the video. Thank you so much. They're in the back here. You can't see them. They're behind me. We also have ushers, and we have people out taking your tickets. Thank you so much to the upperclassmen who put in their time to come help the rookies. We also have Miss Beatty, Sam Beatty, who has some poets in this competition as well. They'll be doing poetry, some poetry up here for you as well. So we want to give our performers, upperclass performers, a round of applause as well. Thank you. We have I'm a little better. We have facilitators in the audience. We have facilitators who work with these learners with this project, with other projects, weaving in the other contents in the school, and we're just so excited, and we're so happy that our facilitators can do that they can weave in different projects at different times, allowing our rookies to work on this and work on theirs. They have a lot to do. They take 8 classes every 2 days. So they are in a lot of content. They're always working. And we just want to thank our facilitators in our school, our secretary, our counselor, our administrative staff that just goes above and beyond for our kids. So thank you to everybody else that kind of helps with that at the school. So thank you. Finally, we have some amazing rookies. We have a class of rookies who are devoted to what they do. I love going into their classes, both in social studies and in English, and just seeing the passion that they have for the things that are being presented to them in class. We have some awesome kids who, in their ideation, are excited, in their practicing are excited, in their presentations are excited. They're just excited to get to work together and to collaborate and to work hard. And that doesn't happen with every group. So I'm appreciative of this rookie class and the way they come out for each other, because everybody's not presenting tonight, right? But they're here supporting one another, building them up, and really showing how our collaborative culture at New Tech is something to be lauded and be thankful for. So thank you, rookies, for the work that you're doing. I'm thankful for a community that comes together to help our students learn that they are loved and learn that they have a backing and they have a foundation. So thank you to you for being here, for supporting them. And I just want to welcome you to the 10th annual Slam Before House.
Mr. Porter, and as he said, we have the amazing people at the Assistance League of Coppell here with us tonight.
Yes, the Assistance League is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that provides services to youth and senior citizens locally. Now please welcome Assist Teens Liaison Leah Cross to tell us more about this amazing cause.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. And I am an Assistance League member for about 12, 13 years. And I have been a liaison for the Assist Teens, which is our teen portion. We have about 50 teens this year, which was the limit we could get. We could have had more if we had room enough to hold them in our meeting place. But they are middle school and high school teens, some of which who attend here at New Tech, and we have a couple of students who are in this 9th grade class, so we're really proud of that. The purpose of Assist Teens is to provide service activities and inspire them to do community service throughout Coppell and surrounding area, and we hope to inspire them to become leaders and volunteers within their community as a lifetime service. Also, the Assist Teens organization the Assistance League organization rewards teenagers, the high school seniors, by offering 3 scholarships based on their community service. Not grades or not need, but based on community service. And we've done that probably since our organization has begun. So we are grateful to New Tech for sponsoring the Assistance League in Coppell for slamming for a cause, and the financial support that you're giving us tonight is helpful to provide and reward service opportunities for our youth. And you'll hear a little bit more about this from our president later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah Cross. And remember, everyone, all the profits made tonight go directly to the Assistant League of Coppell. For more information, you can go to their website, assistantleague.org. We thank you so much for your support and spending your time with us.
Now, I have a question for all of you here. How many of you have been to a poetry slam before? Okay. So if you haven't, there's a couple things. First thing is snaps. If you hear something that you like or that you want to applaud, instead of clapping your hands together, you're going to just give a quick little snap. Can we practice? Perfect. A couple other things. Please don't talk during performances. We want to respect the people who are up here performing and all of our poets. And no matter what your personal opinions are about the subject being performed, please keep it professional and just support the people. Our lovely counselor, Miss Moss, is right outside if you need to talk to her at any point during the show.
Before we start our main event of the evening, please welcome Miss Beatty and the English 4 Poetry Out Loud Scholarship finalists, Angie Mawani, Ellie Reese, and Nime Shaw.
The children won't wake to the smell of a warm supper, nor will they find a purple crayon to draw an escape door or a window. Instead, they'll make a mirror of a murky puddle on the city street, which won't tell them they're beautiful. But it'll show their scars as invisible to others as these children are.
Among women, unsought. What women wander? Not many, well, a few. Most would now and then, and I wonder. Some, and I wonder, sitting still.
My small grandmother bought from every peddler, less for the ribbons and the lace than for their scent of sleep where you will, walk out when you want, choose your bread in your company. She warned me, have nothing to lose. She looked fragile, but had high blood, runner's ankles, could endure. She loved her rooted garden, her grandchildren, her once wild, once young man. Women wander as best as they can. A Song in the Front Yard by Gwendolyn Brooks. I've stayed in the front yard all my life. I want to peek back at where it's rough and untended and hungry weed grows. A girl gets sick of a rose. I want to go in the backyard now, and maybe down the alley to where the charity children play. I want a good time today. They do some wonderful things. They have some wonderful fun. My mother sneers, but I say it's fine how they don't have to go in at 8:45. My mother, she tells me that Johnny May will grow up to be a bad woman, or that George will be taken to jail sooner or late on account of last winter he sold our back gate. But I say it's fine. Honest, I do, and I'd like to be a bad woman too. And wear the brave stockings of night black lace and strut down the street with paint on my face. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ellie. And lastly, we have Lee Shaw.
Hey everyone, I'm Nime, and my first poem today will be Self-Portrait of Kendrick Lamar by Sean P. Anderson. This, what God feels like, laughing alone in an empty room of tiny doors. Behind every door, a metal box. Inside each, a man's red heart, lying. I don't write of the cartoonish things split and jagged, instead of how I even across those same backs splintered by hate. I tell God I understand. And what I mean is, I've noticed that good people must die for there to be light in my house. We share a likeness, God and I, both laughing like something green folded in our throats. Laughing, meanwhile, somebody's auntie asks for anything. Laughing when people say they don't want to read about the bad stuff. Sometimes I nervous chuckle, knowing that trauma pays. But the only time I really laugh is when I'm laughing to the bank. Like, ah, ha. My next poem today is If We Must Die by Claude McKay. If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die. So then our precious bloods may not be shed in vain. So then even the monsters that we defy shall be constrained to honor us though dead. O kinsmen, we must face the common foe. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men, we'll face the cowardly, murderous pack pressed against the wall, dying, but fighting back. Thank you.
guys, now it's finally time to hear from our amazing rookie poets. They've been working so incredibly hard, writing, rehearsing, and memorizing, and everybody has done a wonderful job. Our first group is going to be Kit, Oliver, and Ellie performing their poem, I Am, on Iranian security enforcing violations of UDHR.
I am the 500 protesters who were killed fighting for humanitarian rights, fighting for equality. The will of the protesters are a raging fire. The police are fire extinguishers trying to stop people from equality. Found for chasing my freedoms, for attempting to save others from ethnic cleansing, inevitably killed for attempting to benefit the people. Captured, tortured, raped. Never given a way to escape, never found a way to escape. Long gone was my hope as I tasted the familiar blood pool in my mouth and the cold steel of the handcuffs left her wondering when this genocide would end. I run through the bodies. I run through the rot of the fallen. I run through the smoke in my eyes. I run through the fire. I kept running. I am
the unidentified 30-year-old man. Gang raped, blindfolded, beaten, exploited, and used as a tool. Fear-filled eyes as I saw the rape inflicted upon the victims. My fellow fighters who attempted to protect the wings of equality. Broken glass makes up my legs, tired from the marching. I was persecuted by the ones who were forced to protect. My wings of hope for my land were plucked. There is no peace, faith, or valor in the flag of Iran. The brown, dried blood of the people stained the flag, wrapped and dragged with explosives, now indicates the balkanization of its people. Once used to show pride for the people, now used as a reminder that I can never leave. I walk towards hope. I walk towards freedom. I walk towards more rights. I walk towards blue skies. I walk for the hope that I can see the light a day again. I kept walking.
I am
Masha Amini, age 22, killed in custody. I was taken into a cold, grimy block of concrete. Bloodied were the walls of which I was held. Cold metallic bars were the only thing to stop me from freedom. Why? All for a simple veil, an article of clothing. I was trapped in a cell for my pride, for the blossoming hope that I might see a better future, for the hope I can feel the sun's rays on my skin once more. But the morality police turned violent, turned to torture and rape. That door I saw was shut permanently. Only intruder darkness was left for me.
I crawl
for better days.
I crawl
for independence.
I crawl
for light.
I crawl
for rain.
I crawl
for a chance I can love again. I kept crawling.
The land where pride used to shine is now a faded gray, resonating with burning tires and shattered glass windows, with the faint smell of scorched rubber and floating gunpowder. Masoud Pezeshkian, the president of Iran. Reign was never given to those chosen by those who save, but chosen by the ones who endanger. Chosen by the ones born with power, leaves no room for change, no room to recognize the dead who fought for life. This power struggle has lasted for 44 years!
All men, all leaders of Iran, never attempted to assist the people, but to assist their own reign over the innocent, to assist their own reign over the protesters. But they could never stop their own security forces. I need the security forces to protect me. Instead, I need protection against the security forces. So we are left to rot in rusty cells and decaying streets. Remember how I
ran,
walked,
crawled,
but it was all futile. I lay,
vision blurry.
I lay, ears ringing.
I lay, dried mouth.
I lay,
cold skin.
I lay, so others can continue my cause.
And I don't get back up again.
Oh my gosh, that was a chilling performance by Kit, Oliver, and Ellie. People of Tomorrow about El Salvador's child abuse emergency.
The people of tomorrow. Carolina Gonzalez, 17, taken from her family, charged with gang association. I mean nothing to this country anymore.
Oscar Gomez, 17, tortured in a cell, charged with unlawful association. I didn't deserve this.
Nicholas Saldivar, 16, dragged out of school, charged with unlawful association. I'm just a symbol of a prison.
Agustin Diaz, 16, captured while fleeing gang violence, charged with nothing. The police would show me how they would kill me as a joke. 3,319 kids
that El Salvador decided to throw away. 17 years old, I'm not thinking about college. 17 years old, I'm not looking towards the future. How can I be a gangster when I'm supposed to be a child? I don't know how to deal with this. I miss my mama y papa. I went to look up at the mountains free, not from the bars of a cell. Where is my hope? There is no more hope. I just want equality. I can't deal with this inequality. I just want to go home. But where is my home? At this point, I'd rather be a displaced person than a citizen.
Article 6.
Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. Yeah, I am no one to our system.
In a darkened cell, Oscar cries out. 17 years old with no light in his eyes. His voice, once full of dreams and hope,
Gone.
His body scarred and battered. No reason, no mercy, no nothing. A young life broken. Gone. Oscar, a name of love, but now a name of despair. A victim of torture, a symbol of abuse, symbol of violence. Article 5. No one shall be subjected to torture, to cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment. Yet a 17-year-old's body holds a story of hate and violence.
Beaten, scarred, broken.
Left to die.
Your child does not exist here. If you stare at him, we'll beat you, is what a guard told my papa. It was supposed to be just an interview, but it turned into 2 years in prison. I was sitting in class minding my own business when the police came and dragged me out. I want to go back to school. I want to see my home, my family. They said, we'll release him soon, but that's not what they had in mind. Tortured every day in my cell. The officers don't seem to care. All they do is yell and hit me. My innocence is left behind me. All I have left are memories of my former self. The life they took away. Article 7. All are equal under the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. But this doesn't seem like equality to me.
Running from the shadows of a place that no longer felt like home, leaving behind my mama, my papa, the friends that became just memories when gunshots took their voices. But that's all behind me now. All I need to do is run from the gangs, from my pain, from my home. I hear a fight in the distance and I hide behind the trees, and I hear sirens becoming louder and louder and louder. I thought this could be it. The police, they've come to help get me to a new home, and I let out a long release, thinking it would be the first of my freedom, but it would be my last. I'm taken away and thrown in a dark, cold cell for nothing. Put right back in the position I started, needing to run again. Article 9. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. But the ones who were supposed to protect me left me to die in a cell.
All these children have been a part of terrorism against kids.
All of them have been behested and falsely accused of a stereotype.
The tyranny that the El Salvador government has shown to these children?
They can't even protest without having a hindrance in their process.
All these children have faced the effects of dehumanization.
This plight they have faced has been too much.
All because they were children.
All because they didn't want to join gangs that committed genocide.
We watch and see this in different ways.
But no matter the way, treating kids like this
isn't acceptable.
They are your future mothers,
fathers,
leaders. I'm a future leader.
I'm a future leader.
I'm a future leader.
I'm a future leader.
We are the people of tomorrow.
Good job, guys. Next, we're going to have Soha, Mayel, and Inbin with Crumbling on India's digital access divide.
Three things. Three things is all that you need to hold up a building. But if you take away the bricks, then it will fall.
Take away the iron beams, it will fall.
Take away the concrete, it will fall.
British Raj.
89 years.
For 89 years, we were falling. They had torn down our building.
If we protested,
we were silenced. We read only government-approved news.
We were disenfranchised from our voice, gasping for air underneath the rubble.
Fast forward to the 21st century. Our building is standing firmly.
The internet runs through each tile and each brick, but suddenly it is shut down.
Rajasthan.
145 days.
For 145 days, my family has gone hungry. Our food rations cannot be delivered because we cannot be registered without the internet.
Our throats parched, our stomachs empty and barren like the Thar Desert, and necessity to live has been taken away.
Our walls have been torn apart, leaving us with a house of rods and concrete.
Manipur.
200 days.
We have been in a shutdown for 200 days. The economy has been hindered.
My business has been shut down because I cannot pay my workers without the internet. My neighbor's restaurant has been shut down, leaving him and his family hungry.
I am a lawyer. Without the internet, I cannot reach my clients or access legal records. I cannot work or bring justice to my clients.
I'll walk in a line of many others to reach my work site, a trail of ants on a green field. But without a attendance check, I cannot be paid. I must travel back home with no work and no money.
We cannot feed our family or pay rent. Our gardens have trapped us in their vines, turning this lush green state into a prison.
Our support beams have been cut in half.
Leaving us with just the ground to find food.
Just the ground to earn.
Just the ground to live.
Jammu Kashmir.
522 days.
For 522 days, we have been suffering without the internet. We're abused, we were attacked. Black and blue eyes roaming the streets, lying on the ground with broken arms and legs.
But our voices do not soar. They are trapped, their wings cut off, unable to carry the injustice to the ears of the world. The only thing we hear is the government saying,
"This is for the public safety."
No idea what is going on in the outside world.
Shut. Completely shut.
The government has taken our concrete. We are falling with nothing to hold on to.
Sinking to the ocean with a shackle attached to our ankle.
Drowning.
Suffocating.
Once again, trapped beneath the rubble of our building.
India, today we are falling.
They torn down our building piece by piece, but we dissent against these government's policies.
But if we retaliate,
we are silenced. We're disenfranchised from हमारी आवाज,
our voice,
हमारा भोजन,
our food,
हमारा काम,
our work,
हमारा धन,
our pay,
हमारा ज्ञान,
our education,
हमारा स्वास्थ्य,
our health,
हमारे अधिकार,
our rights.
In
1500 BCE,
the Rig Veda was written. It said that everyone should work for each other's interests. It also said that everyone has the right to
food and water. On
November 26, 1949.
After decolonization, a constitution was written. A constitution that gave us such rights.
Article 19.
Freedom of speech and peaceful assembly.
Article 25.
Freedom of thought, conscience, and religion.
On
December 10th, 1948.
The United Nations created a Declaration of Human Rights, a declaration that gave us such rights.
Article 19.
Everyone has the right to freedom of expression. This includes the right to seek, receive, and impart information through any media.
Article 23.
Everybody has the right to work.
835 shutdowns in India. How many more shutdowns until the world takes action? Until the world takes action?
How many more protests smother until we can speak again?
How many more returning parents with empty hands to empty stomachs until we can support a family again?
We cannot wait another 835 shutdowns before we act.
We must end this persecution of digital divide.
Your politics are not worth our lives.
This is not an authoritarian government. We demand equality.
Keep it on.
So please welcome Paul, Baylor, and Nico performing We Rise with Pride about Nepal's legal gender violations.
To arrive in this country and be told you are safe.
To arrive in this country and be told you are welcome.
To arrive in this country and be told it's the symbol of acceptance.
A place where you can tear off the mask and feel safe in your skin.
A place where you are the man or the woman beyond what you see in the mirror.
Finally recognized, a pillar to the sky, this beautiful mountain. A pole to the struggling, like a magnet in iron. But to look up towards the heavens above and see a beacon of hope is like a moth to a flame, reaching out for that light just to be burned. Maimed by the ones you called your neighbors.
Betrayed by the ones you called your leaders.
Cut by our flag, our stacked pendants, our pride, peace, and progress. 1 year ago, on
November 29th,
the government of Nepal recognized the first same-sex marriage in the country. This president was a giant leap forward, a giant step on the mountain we climb.
But what took so long?
It has been
16 years
since the Nepali Supreme Court ruled in favor of gay marriage being legal. But the government never passed legislation. Why must the government freeze up at this vile climb and leave the people helpless?
Surendra Pandey and Maya Gurung, a queer couple, fought for years just to get their marriage recognized. Rukshara Coppell had to sue the government 50 times just to get recognition as a woman, as a person.
Sadiksha Karki, not even
20 years old,
was persecuted in the street. A court case never let unfold, and the verdict was to be beaten, along with 13 other sisters. All for standing in a park, all for striving higher up the mountain, all for reaching beyond the world below, for equity,
for equality.
The endless and silent struggle of this eternal climb, Everest's heartless and empty cold, all this is done under the epithet equality. Just to beat the stigma of the sadistic soldiers, separating our solidarity, forcing us to succumb to sexual desires, all for saying,
Mama
I am me.
Why must I be spat at for being Kothi? Why must I be assaulted for being Fulmulu? Why must I be raped for being Meti? Why must I have my identity stripped away from me? In a land that prides itself on being my Svarga, why don't I have the protection of my country, my home?
For years, untold people have been victimized in the streets. Walkie Shah, a man who desired nothing more than to protect and serve his country, but he was stripped of his title, his pride, his honor, treated like a dissenter.
This facade of queer friendliness, these injustices cannot be unknown. Nepal must do more than recognize. They must integrate laws, reform policies, and for once, listen. Make a change, take a chance, and finally break our chains and let us climb. They can jail us, find us guilty for existing.
But if we let them maim, maraud, masquerade us,
we will not thrive. Nepal will hear our cries, no matter who they identify us as. We will overcome the hollow promises of our nation.
On this mountain we climb and keep striving ever upwards, above Everest and beyond.
Because I refuse to be dehumanized.
Because they cannot stop us from climbing the mountain.
Absolutely. We're gonna
A country where 185,000 people have disabilities. A country where innocent people are trafficked every day.
A country where the government classifies the disabled as useless wastes.
A country where people with disabilities are viewed as disgusting, dirty dogs.
A country that stereotypes women and girls and thinks they can't do anything.
A country that is full of push factors.
A country where 185,000 people's rights are violated every day.
We are Kyrgyzstan. We are the crown jewel of the sweeping Asian mountainsides.
We are supreme.
We must cast out the waste.
We must not be weak.
We must not show support.
Advanced, developed, a country above all others. We know nothing of 185,000.
My name is Jez Gould.
My voice is as powerful as a broken microphone.
My mind is a collection of broken parts.
My body is just a puppet.
Treated by my only family like I am a circus animal. I am one
of 185,000.
Picturesque mountains dot my view.
From the window,
I can see the whole world.
From the window,
I smell delicious meat from the market below.
From the window, I can hear the hustle and bustle from the world below. From the window,
I can see the buses traveling the city.
Kyrgyzstan is so beautiful, so perfect.
But I am not. I am stigmatized, minimized, and traumatized. I am a lake with no water.
I must stay in this room forever.
I must not leave or be seen.
I must not bring such shame to my family.
Locked in a damp room.
I am one of 185,000.
From the moment I was born, I was told at every chance
I was not normal, I was not good. Referred to by a terrible, terrifying, treacherous epithet. I shouldn't be seen. I shouldn't bring shame.
I shouldn't be here.
I'm denied education.
I'm denied my rights.
I am denied love.
I'm in an inescapable plight.
I am one
of 185,000.
I am one. And there's 184,999 more.
184,999 more
hid by our families because of a dehumanizing social culture.
184,999 more
face inequity every minute of their lives.
184,999 more who will never again see the light of day.
There could be a future
where we are free.
Where we are at peace.
Where we are treated equally.
We can make this happen.
We must fight for disability rights.
But nobody cares to help.
No dissent against this bias.
Nobody will save me.
I am just one of 185,000.
Wow, what a bone-chilling performance by Kira, Reed, and Emery. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Conrad, Michaela, and Miguel performing The Good Days Walked Away about Australian children's justice system. I'm your number one fan, Michaela!
On the outer banks of Queensland, the wind brushes against my face. I am 13 years old. Playing at the park is for babies, is what I used to say. I'd rather stay inside, is what I used to say.
Now I pray for those days to come back. Sitting in the corner of this room, this white, cold room, with no other sound than my own thoughts.
I pray every single day for me to be able to go outside, play at the park, and even breathe, but I'm shackled.
They hinder our ability to be children. We're forced to forfeit our freedom. I beg and cry only for the same pleas to fall on deaf ears. Nothing will ever change. I am stuck here.
Day one, this isn't just a prison, it's an internment. I'm pushed, I'm shoved. Screaming and crying is all I can do.
Don't resist, get on the ground.
I didn't do anything, I yell. I'm telling the truth. I struggle, I strain, I run for the door for freedom.
Slam!
My arm shows with pain, like lava inside me. They look down on me in distaste. They tell me I did this. They take me to the hospital, but only so I can go back to my cage. I'm a pest. I'm dehumanized.
Dangerous
is their favorite word. It's what defines me. My name is no longer Sam to them, rather a threat.
A problem?
A criminal. Day 10, I'm still here, in the corner of this cold room. The tyrants of the prison pass by, glaring right at me. I have no basic amenities as I relieve myself in my own clothes. I'm forced to change in front of them without a say, because if I do say anything, I'm disrespectful.
I'm insulted.
I'm misbehaving.
But all I want is to be treated with care, yet all I'm seen as is a rodent. I'm trapped inside of a box, no way out. I continuously pray and pray over and over again just for one day to be free. One day.
Day 20. The fire that occurred within another cell suffocates me. I can't breathe. Even when I'm gasping for help, I'm being told,
You're faking it. Stop the act.
But all I can hear is my head rigging and my gasp for air. When the fire stops, I'm relieved to live for another day, but something in the back of my mind is disappointed. Disappointed that I survived. Disappointed that I'm still here for another day. Dread creeps like a plague throughout my body. It starts with a feeling, and a thought, and actions.
Day 30. I'm 13, but the size of a 9-year-old. Placed in an overcrowded cell with boys twice the size of me. The same boys who caused the fire, the same boys who would later leave me scarred. It was only 3 days later when I was sexually assaulted. But it was shrugged off like everything else in this horrid building. They even knew it would happen. Notes were made, predictions too, but nothing was done, and still nothing is done.
Day 40. I'm another child stuck within the cell. My chest hurts, my ribs throb, my stomach cramps. Nothing eases the pain. It takes
13 days
before I even get a nurse. I feel numb, I feel dizzy. I can feel the sweat pouring down my face as I begin to attack myself, the guards, everyone in my sight in a retaliation, in an attempt to escape from the world that we classify as hell.
Day 50. I'm Cleveland Dodd, 16 years old, contained and monitored. My thoughts hurt. The only way to escape is pain, physical pain. To subdue the pain of stress and guilt and anger and frustration, I looked up from this plain white room. My tears are like watercolor. I painted the outside with what I remember, but it's all starting to fade. The only thing I remember now is the blue sky and the brown dirt that stretch across the fields I played on as a child. To say that this is inequity would be a pure understatement.
Day 60. I'm an indigenous boy, told day after day that tomorrow is court day, but the day never comes. The air reeks of bias and racism against me and my people. They call us
Aboriginal.
They lump us together into a group. It's already bad enough. We feel disconnected from our culture, ripped from who we truly are, and now we're here. The numbers don't lie.
84%
of those locked up are indigenous. First, they colonize our land. Now they imprison us.
Day 70. The worst of it's over, but it's like an injury. Nothing magically disappears. There's scabs and bruises and scars for many of us, both literally and figuratively. We never got proper care inside of these places. When we mentioned self-harm,
we weren't helped.
Only hurt further.
With more punishment and more isolation, many of us come from a background of abuse and neglect, and then we're put into the conditions that we hoped and prayed to never experience again. The sound still echoes in our heads.
The yells of children.
Pain. The yells of guards.
Annoyance. The yells of us.
Agony.
Our names are
Sam.
Cleveland.
Jaden.
83% have psychological disorders. 86% aren't even proven guilty.
Children deprived of family, deprived of treatment, deprived of medication. Cases tell of malfunctioning water fountains. Adults, inmates being nearby, and a door severing a child's finger.
The articles reveal the plight of these children, so young, with accounts, interviews, and even footage.
From The Guardian, I just can't imagine that child, a distressed, traumatized child, being put into this room.
Human Rights Watch, pinned down, stripped naked, locked in a padded cell, and yelling continuously for hours.
The reports flood in, but the government turns their back, while the people, the children,
the adults,
the families,
cry out, I'm too young.
He's too young. Free my child. Free the children.
Queensland Youth Justice Minister.
No comment.
The police.
No comment.
The Watch House.
No comment.
Ignored again and again.
They say they uphold human rights, but it all keeps circling back to this. Avoiding the problem, not helping those in need, and still ignoring the children who are locked up.
We dream.
We hope.
We pray.
For a future. A future where we're cared for.
A future where we're loved.
A future where we're cared for.
Be part of the solution.
Join the protests.
Speak up now.
Place your next bid Indigenous people's human rights issues. This is Seesaw.
Is it right to harm nature?
To destroy life?
The planet dark, burning, and in strife.
Made of wood, splintered and cut.
Nature is rising to the sun.
Higher and higher.
This problem is at the top of the seesaw.
But wait!
The side lowered, not yet in equity to the other, but lowered still.
Those green trees growing.
Taller and taller.
Forests surrounded by mountains, overlooked by clouds.
By rivers.
By waterfalls.
By jungles.
By nature. Lower and lower. Reparations being paid. Restitutions being made.
Red Plus causing 50 million acres to be remade.
This project is like a nurse to nature.
The sides are an equity.
And on the other side sits a round-faced native, hands calloused from gripping the seesaw.
As the other side lowers, all wooden and worn, their side raises. Higher and higher. Made of steel, burning them in the sun.
The natives, Cambodian Chong people,
Together.
They build homes.
Together.
They move on from death.
Together.
They raise the village youth.
Together.
They live.
Apart.
How are they supposed to eat?
How are they supposed to breathe?
How are they supposed to drink?
With no land to sleep?
To sell?
To work? How are they supposed to live?
Universal Declaration of Human Rights, signed by the United Nations in 1948, given to every human being.
Article 9, no one shall be subjected into arbitrary arrest.
Article 17, the right to own property.
Article 20, the right to peaceful assembly and association.
Reports came in of a pregnant native.
Forced on the bike of a foreigner to avoid arrest.
Scared, she jumped off a moving vehicle.
Her young children left alone. In my mind, I see protesters against others' behest.
Orders.
As they become forced in internment.
Jail.
For what?
Wanting to go home?
A need for essentials.
To build their thatched roofs, bamboo walls?
Refusing to get on a stranger's bike.
Their rights being
downgraded, denied, demoted, decreased, demolished, denounced, dehumanized. Is balance possible?
Equal to their environment?
Will the sides always be in inequality?
These tribes, their living is gone, reduced to grief.
Forced to borrow money just to make ends meet in political dissent.
Universal Declaration of Human Rights, signed by the United Nations in 1948, given to every human being.
Article 9, no one shall be subjected into arbitrary arrest.
Violated. Article 17, the right to own property.
Violated.
Article 20, the right to peaceful assembly and association.
Violated.
All these rights overlooked.
Violated.
Red Plus protects nature, not its inhabitants.
Not their rights.
Not their justice.
Not their homes.
And
not their lives.
Looking at the leaves, we see our pain.
Looking at the leaves, we see rangers, blind to compassion.
Looking at the leaves, we see our homes searched and taken.
Even in this pain,
we can change these ways. Let us demand land titles, protection.
Rights, freedom heard, voices, and justice.
As these lands tie us together, as they throb in our soul.
For balance.
For equity.
Change is a seesaw.
On one side sits a round-faced native.
Hands calloused from gripping the seesaw, seated on a side of steel.
On one side sits a sharp and defined-faced woman.
Hands soft like river moss, green on stones, seated on wood, wooden, and worn.
One side raises,
higher and higher,
burning in the sun.
One side descends,
lower and lower,
in an endless run.
What an amazing performance by Kyla, Drew, and Rishi. A truly amazing piece. Great job, guys.
Yes, don't forget that our next performance of the night is our last before next intermission, and we still have the silent auction going on, and it closes after intermission. So please welcome our next performance, Sahana, Cass, Alejandro, and Haran, for performing For the People or For the Profit, USA's Racial Healthcare.
Like a stain on a white canvas, they make us feel like we don't belong, as if our presence brings them pain, and so we must feel the same.
America, the country of freedom, the self-proclaimed greatest country in the world where rights are supposed to be protected, ostracize us because of race. Because of warm tone, ebony, dusky skin, we receive unequal treatment.
Their mere presence is a sin. They aren't afforded the same opportunities as more affluent Americans, forced to bear this inequity since birth. Their cries of pain are forcibly hushed. Before these children were even born, their mothers and fathers suffered generations of pain and resistance. For what?
70% of Black Americans
say they're treated unfairly by healthcare workers.
50% of healthcare professionals
don't provide Black Americans with proper health care. And
30% of Black Americans
say they're insulted during appointments.
A Black mother in America, Angelica Lyons, has to experience her pregnancy knowing she won't receive the same treatment during labor.
She nearly died during labor in this cold, empty room with no one around her to help.
American healthcare, exemplary in its own right, refused to assist her. She has to experience her pregnancy knowing she is 4 times more likely to die because of her race.
Her pain was ignored and she wasn't taken seriously. She was something whose life didn't matter.
When her baby was wailing, screaming for his mother, as she was forced born into this world to be met with a terrible silence, just like his mother.
When she was complaining about pain, when she was begging, pleading for the resources for her and her unborn child, she was less important. Her and her child were less important. Families are in pain.
Families of all shapes, colors, and sizes are in pain. We all reach out to be seen. The white, black, and brown hands, fingers outstretched, less than an inch away, for relief, the proper prescription, the life-saving surgery, or medicine for the pain, pleading for support. The people with the resources and knowledge to help us all sneer at us,
ignore us,
taunt us,
hate us.
The white coats hiding racist tyranny, and they take bias sowing the more affluent families that keep the hospitals in business.
It doesn't matter if you're feeding a racist and supremacist system because it's lining the pockets of the true patriots, while the non-white Americans earn 25% less on average. Is it too much to ask for?
Our guaranteed rights.
We fight for our children and our lives, only to be hurried away by a doctor who pledged to a Hippocratic oath, an oath to do no harm.
That oath was broken.
Like the hearts of the immigrants who made it to this land with their blood, sweat, and tears, only to be treated as less than and to have their children be born into persecution and plague.
These brave souls who fiercely fought for slavery's abortion, in the land of free, who fought for desegregation and equity, in the land of equal opportunity.
We believe that we reside in the land of freedom, of hope, of equal opportunity, the land of equity. But some Americans are forced to live in conditions that cause them to be 40% more likely to develop Alzheimer's.
21% more likely to develop asthma.
And countless other health risks.
Despite these manufactured disparities, healthcare facilities were built outside of immigrant communities. Why take care of a struggling family in America? It might be too risky. The hospital might not make enough money that way. You see, American healthcare isn't really for its people. It's for profit. 4.7 million patients who were treated by paramedics with acute traumatic injury. 4.7 million patients, Black and brown patients whose pain was ignored. 4.7 million patients who, even if they had insurance, it would be impossible for them to afford this health care. Because to the board, it's not really about you. It's about telling the public.
We did all we can do.
So you and your pain is overlooked. This poison that runs deep in our country's roots bleeds into everyone and everything. And we cannot continue to play this game because when you play games with people's lives, people die.
Mothers die.
Fathers die.
Sons and daughters die.
How many more people need to suffer?
Their American dream and the land of opportunity was to simply be treated as an equal. You see, we're standing on false freedom. We have to stand up for our human rights, regardless of your size, shape, color, and ethnicity. For us.
To have the future generations be born in an altruistic society.
Where they will never have to know this pain.
So they will never carry the impossible disparities we face today.
Thank you, Savannah, Cash, Alejandro, and Duran for such a great performance.
I know, what an amazing batch of poems.
Indeed, you can see how hard the rookies worked on this project. I'm so proud of them.
You know, Cindy, I was just thinking about that. I mean, I know we keep saying this, but how amazing is this event, right, guys?
Absolutely. I think it might be the event in our year.
What? No. Probably, yeah.
Oh, I definitely am. The only thing that would make it even better is if they reach their fundraising goal of $10,000.
$10,000? How is it going to do that?
Well, with help from everyone here, all of the proceeds made from the silent auction and bake sale go directly to the Assistant League of Coppell.
What a great cause, and what a great place to finish up, or more likely, start your holiday shopping. I know I've been keeping my eye on those gift cards. They would make perfect stocking stuffers.
Any gifts for me?
You know what, I think it's actually time for our break. We'll be back soon.
Thank you.
themselves. They all performed at their Slamming for a Cause, and they, in their freshman year, raised over $24,000 for the Dallas Children's Advocacy Center. So as seniors, it is a really lovely way for them to remember where they started. It is a nice little circle, full circle moment for them, or in the new tech world, a bookend lesson. And so I'm going to have all three of them come up, please. So we have Ellie, Angie, and Mime. You can stand with me. All right. So their scores were totaled and averaged to determine who our first place winner is going to be, who's going to represent UTech High Coppell at the Texas competition for the Poetry Out Loud Scholarship Performance. And in third place, we have Angie Mawani. And then it was very, very close margins between our first and our second place. But in first place, we had, next microphone, please, Mime Shaw. So please be proud of yourselves. And let's give one last round of applause to all of them.
Yay, thank you to them. Congratulations again. Now we're back to our freshman Slamming for a Cause poets, where we have many more amazing performers to showcase what they've created.
Hey, Sydney, do you realize this is the last batch of poems?
What? You mean that the night's almost over? I feel like it just started.
I know. I mean, like, I finally realized what people mean when they say time flies when you're having fun.
You really just realized that? Anyway, let's welcome Elliot, Terrence, and Sia with their poem on the U.S. flag.
I take step by step into my destroyed home. Pieces of my room littering the ground, my stuffed animals ashy and blackened.
I see the flag on the floor, the blue and yellow, covered in dust, once so bright.
My broken bed splintered and scattered across. I see a paper on the floor and pick it up.
It's an old one from 2008. All it's about is munitions.
I kept reading.
Germany was holding a political convention.
Lying through their teeth, promising us they're banning them. I laugh, then I start to cry, because I know this was all talk.
Trains whistle blare, the soft chugging lulling people along, lulling them to their deaths. Families bored, telling their children that they love them, their soft voices smoothing over, not knowing that those were their last words. Boom! Smoke and sparks pour from the train, an attack on Kramatorsk. 58 dead, more than 100 injured. Where is tomorrow?
I see my child from the corner of my eye, skipping. She is dancing in the street. She looks down and she picks it up and I see a black, angry, deceiving bomb and I scream, no, 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 no! And just like that, she's gone. Charred pieces of her body everywhere. My daughter is gone. Just like my friends, just like my family who did nothing wrong. I feel like I'm displaced. I feel like I don't belong here. Where is tomorrow? It will never stop. March 3rd, 2022.
March 4th, 2022.
March 16th,
April 8th,
2022.
May 9th, 2022.
June 27th, 2022.
July 16th,
October
2022.
2023.
And over and over and over. The bombs will never stop raining, like stars sent by death himself.
I, Abbas Hussein, 12 years old, be like screaming until I collapse, yelling until my lungs suffocate me, sobbing until that release of death, crying until I release myself from this hell, fighting in retaliation. I have the right to live. I feel like I'm dying. My soul isn't even in me anymore. I am forever maimed, my arm ripped off and gone forever by a bomb. It feels like my heart is missing. This is hurting me. This is hurting us. I feel like I'm dead, killed by this plight. Where is tomorrow?
I am a patriot.
I love my country, but not like this.
Not when it's broken and torn apart.
Just because two countries are in strife.
Not when they can't come to an agreement about these guns and about these bombs.
Hurting me and the people of Ukraine.
Not when I can't go to a hospital because more than
600
600 facilities are destroyed.
Not when I can't get an education.
Because more than
3,000
institutions are gone. What happened to the equity?
The love.
The amnesty.
The life.
The world is now an empty place.
90.3% of civilians deaths were by bombs. This isn't a war.
Simply a genocide that we couldn't comprehend. Where is tomorrow?
Wow, amazing job, guys. And amazing job to y'all for snapping and applauding them. Truly great. Let's keep encouraging our poets.
Yes, now we will welcome Brianna, Isabella, Ben, and Visa performing Birds in a Cage about Iran silencing female protesters for human rights.
In the early hours of dawn, before the sun rises and casts its cover of heat, one can hear the sweet singing of a nightingale, its voice enchanting and free, unbound by the cage shackling the people it sings for.
September 13th, 2022. Gina marched in Tehran to visit relatives. It should have been a joyous occasion, filled with happiness, filled with laughter, all things a family reunion should be, but it was not.
For it was not, because as Masa left the train station, she was arrested by Iran's so-called morality police for incorrectly wearing her hijab.
Other women detained say that Masa was severely beaten inside the police van, blood dripping from her ears, bruises under her eyes.
Iranian officials had the audacity to reject the accusation, saying her death was an unfortunate incident, claiming that a previous illness was the cause of her death. I suppose the previous illness they're referring to was the illness of simply being a woman living in Iran.
Metallic taste in their mouths.
Wearing it wrong.
That's what they said.
Beauty covered by fabric.
Too tempting.
That's what they said.
Being tortured and killed by supremacists, political and religious authoritarians.
This is where you belong.
That's what they said.
Sepideh Roshnu, 29, arrested for 6 months after being assaulted, forced to apologize on camera, her voice silenced.
Amrita Jerevan, 17, beaten to a coma, announced brain dead, then dead 6 days later. Her story covered up.
Persecuted over a crime against their beliefs, trialed by a false judge, the victims of an inauthentic authority. All they wanted was equity, a chance to decide their own future, but corruption was the custom.
There were beautiful paintings hidden away, birds thrown into a cage, There were fireflies trapped in jars, the heat suffocating them, invading through the cover of their jobs, just as the government invaded their rights and privacy. Bugs squashed under the foot of those who thought them worthless.
They were dehumanized inside a prison with no walls. A home so far, compassion so near, but yet a long way. It was conditional with the preset,
wear this cover and you can be loved.
The government of Iran has been caging the beautiful birds of their country for generations. Over 184,000 girls under 15 were married between 2017 and 2022. And this number doesn't account for the thousands of girls with unregistered marriages. Over one-fifth
of these involved men were at least 10 years older. Girls seen as chattels, commodities in a deal, their worth measured by their beauty, bartered away to get their families out of poverty.
Women jailed for unchastity after being raped and abused by their husbands. They are not allowed to divorce their husbands. They are not allowed to inherit property. They are not allowed to express dissent. They are not allowed to work or even go to school without permission from their husbands.
Their screams fall into deaf ears like climbing into a swimming pool, inaudible, and as more of their rights being taken away.
Birds trapped in a cage, their wings clipped with little hope to escape.
Layla, 17, married off by her parents in exchange for goats.
Sarah, married at 12, her husband forced her to discontinue her education.
45 documented were gang raped and beaten and punished for protesting. Thousands more were too afraid to file complaints, fearing further harm.
You deserve this.
That's what they said.
And these perpetrators, they did not face punishment. They did not face the mirror of injustice.
Equality was a mere wish, as scarce as clean water, shackled by the social culture of their country, and yet they still fight for a better future, just that way in the future, their descendants may not have to fight the same war.
The day fades into dusk, the nightingale song fills the air once again.
Its song is revered and cherished by all, yet the voices and protests of women are silenced.
It soars through the air freely above women who are caged and denied their rights.
Jin Jayad Azadi.
Jin Jayad Azadi.
Jin Jayad Azadi.
Women, life, freedom.
Thank you, Brianza, Isabella, Ben, and Lisa.
Yes, and just a reminder, after the evening is over, if you've been on an item, make sure to see if you won. If you did, we are accepting checks, cash, and you can pay online. You just have to go to the table right out there. Our next poem will be performed by Sunny, Hunav, and Ruben about the Democratic Republic of the Congo female prisoner abuse. This is Echoes.
Central Africa, a diverse landscape, from mountains larger than life with snow covering the peaks, to surreal plateaus with intricate designs on their rocky sides. Tree-packed vibrant green rainforests, savannas filled with beautiful animals, but beneath the breathtaking landscape.
Coppell prison, Kinshasa city, boiling sun, coarse cement floors. At the government's behest, people are sent here to die, not to be punished.
Where prisoners only eat once a day, where there are 15,000 people in a 1,500-person prison, where under the scorching sun, inmates don't have access to air conditioning, where clean water is a currency as rare as diamonds, where prisoners are constantly dehumanized, where women are subject to constant inequality.
September 1st, 2024, Coppell prison. The power is shut off. Darkness fills the prison. Silence and confusion amongst the prisoners. Suddenly, there's a crashing sound. Then gunshots.
Bang, bang, bang! It clicks what's happening. A prison break. Chaos spreads like a fire. Prisoners escaping. People tripping over each other.
People fighting over the little they have.
People begging for help as they're trampled by hundreds trying to escape.
Hundreds of men bursting into the women's cell block. In their hands, razor blades and shanks. The women given no option but to comply, shackled by men abusing their power, defenseless as their rights are stripped away.
268
women assaulted.
268
women's mental health maimed. Persecuted simply because they are women. This isn't the first time, and it will
not be the last.
Trapped in a hell made by those who they're supposed to trust. Those who are supposed to help refuse to do their job. Looking to the government for support. Looking for reparations.
Looking for change.
Is as useless as a directionless compass. Women left to fend for themselves when their government vowed to protect them.
September 1st, 2024. I am an inmate at McCalla Prison. Every night when I lay my head down on the cold, cracked cement floors, I close my eyes and I drift away. I drift away and I dream of something better, something freeing, something different. But tonight I can't sleep. There's a weird smell in the air and it feels like my lungs are closing. Smoke, fire, people breaking down doors, running, trying to escape. I join the crowd that rapidly becomes a stampede. Rushing, screaming, trampling, and suddenly I can't breathe. The hallway feels as if there's limited air and I'm suffocated by the people around me. I push, yell, and use all my effort to try and make it out of there, but then the fight stops. The struggle is over and I drop to the ground as the rest of the people continue to disregard my lifeless body. September 1st, 2024.
I died at McCalla Prison.
I am just one out of 129 people whose lives were lost that night.
This shouldn't be something that's normalized. This shouldn't be a reality for hundreds of people. This can no longer be a repeating nightmare that hundreds never wake up from.
No one,
prisoner or free, should ever have to live through McCalla.
No one
should ever have to go to sleep, wondering if they'll wake up in the morning.
No one
should ever have to starve for days on end.
Coppell Prison, September 25th, 2020. 3 entire days. Coppell Prison, the same city as McCalla Prison. Male prisoners rioting in protest. Fire spreading like a contagious disease, infecting everything it touches. Fires in the women's cell block. The jail cells echo cries and screams.
Justice falters, bias is victorious. 56
women left in the main prison yard.
56 women not given food, water, or shelter. 56
women repeatedly attacked for 3 days.
September 1st, 2024.
September 25th, 2020. I am a prison guard. These are not men and women, but criminals and fugitives. Their plight is not my concern. They have earned themselves this prison. They deserve what comes with it. They deserve to pass out from thirst, lips cracked like dirt in a drought, throats of broken glass. They deserve to starve. They deserve to pass out from heat. Their cold, empty stomachs waste away like the depths of the ocean. The prison's heat wrapping its arms around them in a harsh embrace. I am a prison guard.
I am a firefighter watching a house burn down.
I am a teacher refusing to help a struggling student.
I am a prison guard.
I close my eyes and I cover my ears whenever I see women being attacked as they scream, cry, and beg for help. The prisoners started the escape. They deserve the consequences.
268
women left with trauma they will never fully recover from.
56
women left with wounds deeper than any knife or gun could do.
Not my fault, not my job. Congolese government officials continue to disregard the issue. They do nothing and say very little. There were some women assaulted, Congolese Interior Minister said. 268 women raped at McCalla.
Why are women treated as nothing?
Why are these women not enough to talk about?
Article 5, no one shall be subjected to cruel, inhumane treatment.
The attitude from the government stabs justice in the heart. Apathy, indifference.
Like doctors with antidotes they refuse to prescribe. Silent screams echo through the cramped prison hallways. Cries for help fall on deaf ears. How long would our suffering continue?
When will we take action? When will we put an end to this?
Oh my God.
Great job, Sunny, the dog movement. That was a truly incredible performance.
Now our last performance of the night is Alan, Shreya, Husseina, and Nolan performing 6 Foot Ocean about vaccine access in Africa.
We are crumbs on the floor left to be stepped on, like a forgotten child in a big family.
The person in the center keeping 2 friends apart.
Without a second glance, not even a first.
Humanity's roots are dying. They need help.
And yet help never comes. Why?
Flashback. It is March of 2020 and the entire world has been shut down. Going outside is like stepping into the ocean with nothing to stop you from drowning. Real time, 2024. Monkeypox is now taking over the world with a storm, the heart of the world with the fiery epidemic coursing through a continent with an immense amount of culture, knowledge, love, and life.
We still exist, they say, knowing that the world has forgotten about them.
We are all born free and equal, so we should act towards one another with the collective spirit of brotherhood. We should stand strong together, and yet I am shackled to this town, with no one helping against a plight we are in.
My skin in red scabs, my skin in dark, itchy rashes.
It spreads like a weed in a flower bed, forcing me to stay apart.
We are entitled to the same rights, the same freedoms, without a bias between ethnicity or race, language or culture, yet here I am, in an empty African town. I look outside only to see the cracks in the land spreading, open fields with no one to be seen.
We're all... We...
We all have the right.
Born free and equal. We are all born free and equal.
We are...
We all have the right.
We all have the rights to life, liberty, and the security of a person, and yet our dehumanization persists. I watch people get sick, helpless. The disease reaches out and grabs, never letting go, dragging us deeper. And when I look around, hoping for something, I see others getting the care they need.
Nothing for us.
No one shall be subjected to torture or cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment. And yet here we are every day in a town of ruin, seeking asylum. We feel like animals, facing inequity for acting out. But we are not animals.
We are people.
Everyone has the right to leave their country and search for safety, but they say no. At the bottom of the supremacy, the plague is exterminating us. We are not free to seek other places. We are not free to leave this place.
We are not free to live. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "I have a dream." We have dreams too. We dream of small things.
A good meal, a clean house.
To grow up without child workers, to be paid equally.
And most importantly, to live without harm and hurt, to live and die content with our life. We want you to think.
Think of a world.
A world where an entire ethnicity is not dying.
A world where sickness isn't taking over. A world where we work together
for the greater good of each other.
Other nations gleam in their bustling cities, skyscrapers towering up high while we lay in our underground lair. Unnoticed in the shadows of the rest, the world feels like a distant neighbor, absorbed in their own storms. But there's a flood rising at our door. We slave away,
getting barely anything in return, just to provide for those up high. But when they see the pox hindering our efforts, when they see us hit rock bottom, when they see us drowning, they just look back up.
Why is it so hard to help? Why can no one come to our aid in our time of need?
All it would take is medicine. Medicine that you don't need. All we need are doctors.
Doctors who are already vaccinated, who have masks and gloves, who are healthy and can afford care if otherwise.
I am a child in the Congo. I was a child in the Congo. But instead of surviving to adulthood, I got sick. I died from nothing but my mother's embrace. Over 1,100 deaths, 26,544 cases, we were those.
We are dying. We need help, so please, help us.
Because right now, we are on a deserted island, but everyone watches from across an ocean that's only 6 feet.
If not, you can always have your learner bring a check or cash tomorrow for school.
And our big sale will be open after dismissal for you to take some home, and we're so grateful for your continued support. None of this would be possible without you.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us here on a school night, no less. We are eternally grateful for you.
gift cards that we just delivered, a fistful of gift cards to CISD last week for food insecurities. We need to do more of that now for our people that we help at Helping Hearts. Assistance League has a team that goes every Tuesday to River Oaks and to St. Joseph's, and we do group crosswords with the residents there. Let me tell you, they're competitive too. So we're out in the community, we're doing everything we can, and we couldn't do it without y'all. And the fact that you chose us this year is just amazing. So this year when we do Action Week, because we do Action Week in the spring, where we try to get kids, small children out reading, we've done things like Give Books Away Kids Country. We've had guest readers come in for the last 3 years. We can get more books out to kids. Thank you on behalf of the Assistance League, our members, and everyone that y'all are helping. We appreciate you.